Hello, welcome to Diego Knows. I'm Diego, and today we are going to talk about episode 4 of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City sequel TV series. Okay, so where do I begin here? Okay, I'm just a forward right now. I'm going to tell you straight out. This show sucks. Okay, this show is absolutely terrible. It's worse than I thought, and it's extremely political. Now, I made a promise to you that I would speak when I do these reviews, that I would be completely honest. This is a straight man's point of view, okay? And I'm going to do that. And sometimes when I say these things, I'm going to say things you don't want to hear, or maybe things that you're not used to hearing, okay? And if so, I apologize in advance. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings here. All right? I'm just telling you how a straight guy thinks, how your typical straight guy would think about this stuff, because you don't get that voice on this show or the original show. And I love the original show, but I'm trying to give you my honest opinion on this show from a straight guy's point of view. And there's a lot to talk about here. Okay, so to get started with, so Carrie obviously is regressing. Okay, she's going back to her old apartment. She did that at the end of the last episode. She went back to her old little apartment that she had on the TV show. I guess they own it. They own the building. The Big bought it or something. She feels more comfortable sleeping there than she does sleeping in her apartment that she shared with Big. So she decides she wants to get rid of the apartment. So first of all, she's going back to her old address, okay? Second of all, later on in the episode, she starts smoking again. And third, her clothes, okay? She's wearing the clothes that she wore back on the show, on the original show. The problem is that she is no longer, she's not 38 anymore, okay? She's not 35 anymore, okay? She's 55. All right, and there's a big difference between, wearing a tutu when you're 35 and wearing one when you're 55. There's a big difference, all right? Okay, so let's go here. All right, so she goes back to the old apartment. We switch over to Charlotte. She's got the black woman that's a friend of hers. And I'm starting to notice that, Charlotte is treating black people like purse puppies, okay? Even though this black lady is just as rich, knows just as many people, is just as social, is just as snobby as Charlotte is. Okay, she fits right in with Charlotte's, group of friends. That's the type of people that Charlotte hangs out with. Rich, snobby New Yorkers. And this woman is a rich, snobby New Yorker. She just happens to be black. That's the only thing. But Charlotte's treated like it's something special, And I'm going to tell you straight up right now, okay, this episode is probably the most racist episode I've ever seen, okay? And, I remember I did a review before where I mentioned I didn't know if the show was pandering or parody. I didn't know if it was pander or parody. Well, now I know, okay? It's pander. It's complete pander, all right? And I don't want to get political, but I'm going to, because this episode is completely political, okay? This episode reminded me of a movie I saw several years ago called The Blind Side. It was a movie with Sandra Bullock. You've probably seen it. She's basically a football mom, And I remember watching the movie, and I know she got nominated for an Academy Award. And I remember Hollywood was praising the script. It was based on a true story, and they had the real guy, the real athlete there, And I saw that movie, and I remember thinking it was one of the most racist movies I've ever seen in my life. And I couldn't believe that it got a pass and someone allowed this movie to be shown. Okay, now let me explain myself, all right? The movie The Blind Side, I'm not doing a review of The Blind Side, I'm just pointing out the similarities, okay? In the movie The Blind Side, it was written by liberals, by Democrats. It was written by, Hollywood is Democratic, it's liberal, it always has been, okay? It's always been that way, all right? So this was basically an idea of what liberals thought Republicans were. They're all football crazy, they all go to church, they're all racist, they're all rich, they all have Southern accents, and Sandra Bullock played the mom who was all those things, right? But she learns how not to be racist by adopting this black kid who just happens to play football. And she helps him get into college. In fact, the whole town practically helps him get into college. And he becomes a really good football player. It's called The Blind Side, right? And I remember the reason I said this movie was racist because I remember in the movie, Sandra Bullock was treating this guy like a purse puppy. Like a fucking animal she bought in the fucking store. Like she spent a lot of money on like a dog that she bought at the pet store, not the pound, the pet store. Like this dog cost me $5,000. Okay, so you better be really nice to this dog. Hey, look at my cute little dog. Hey, come over here. Look here. I'm gonna feed you. You know, that's how she treated this black kid in the whole fucking movie. Everybody treated him that way. They treated him like he was a sideshow exhibit, that they were going out of their way to respect him. You know, it was unbelievable that all this is what liberals think Republicans are like. That they just go around treating black people like they're another species or something. You know? Like there's something different than a human being. And that's how everybody in the movie treated him that way. You know? And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? You don't treat people like this. He's a fucking human being. He's not a fucking exotic animal that you bought, that you're showing off to all your friends. You know, that's how they treated him. And that's how Charlotte treats black people on this show. Like there's some exotic animal. You know? Oh, look at this. I got a black friend here. Look. Okay, you come over here. I'm going to invite you to the right people. Just make sure you say this, and make sure you say that, and make sure you do this, and make sure you do that, you know, and stand on my arm, and blah, blah, you know. And every once in a while, I'm going to go like, raise roof. You know, this is fucking stupid. Talk about offensive. See, this is what their idea of anti-racist is being a racist. And the writers of the show don't even fucking realize they're doing it. They're going so out of their way to show that they're not racist, that they're actually being racist. What the fuck? Who wrote this shit? This is ridiculous. Like if I was a black, I'm Mexican and I'm offended. I'm offended by the way the way people on the show are treating people of color. It's unfucking believable. Unfucking believable that they allow this on HBO Max. You know, like you're not good enough to be what you are, that I've got to be in your life to show you how to be what you need to be. This is fucking bullshit. God, I'm sorry, but when stuff like this happens and I see it, I gotta call it out. This is wrong. This is so fucking wrong on so many fucking levels. Okay, so there's that. Miranda's at home and she smells like weed. She's still awake from the night before when she was getting shotgunned weed. They were doing hits of marijuana. And of course, Brady and his girlfriend, they come from downstairs because they spent the whole night fucking. And she comes downstairs and once again, she berates Miranda. Brady calls her out. You smell like weed. You're yelling at me about weed, but you smell like weed. And she's like, I wasn't smoking any weed. I just at a party where people were smoking weed, and that's what you smell. You smell it off of them, not me. I wasn't smoking, And then Miranda goes into some stupid fucking thing about like there were a bunch of alternative people over there. And then Brady's girlfriend's like, alternative as in what? Like she's being gaslit here, And then they switch the scene, so we never get to see the resolution of that. But we do find out later on that that Brady called her Miranda a bitch, or something like that. Unbelievable. Okay, Carrie. Like I said, Carrie's regressing again. She's going back to wearing her old clothes, and she's wearing that goddamn tutu again, the one from the opening credits of the show. And it seems longer now, but it's just ridiculous. Okay, Carrie. Here's a problem I have with the show. Characters are supposed to progress. Think about yourself. Think about who you were when you were 25, okay? And then think about who you are when you're 45. If you're this old, some of you aren't this old, okay? But if you were this old, okay? Think about who you were when you're 25. Think about who you are when you're 40. Think about who you are when you're 55, okay? Are you the same person? Do you still look the same? Do you still wear the same clothes? No, probably not. You've probably matured. You went through that phase in your life and then you progressed. You move forward. Carrie's not doing that. She's wearing the same clothes she wore when she was 35, only she's not 35. It might have been cute because she was younger back then, Oh, look at that girl. She's wearing a tutu. She's pulling it off though, But she's 55 now. She's 55 now. And she's wearing this shit. I swear to God, dude, her and fucking Pennywise the Clown shop at the same store. They always have. It's cute when you're young. When you're old, it's called something else, and the word is not cute. Okay, and the fact that Carrie would regress back to that, like Carrie knows everybody in New York. For Christ's sake, why would she go back to wearing those clothes? My God, those clothes are unattractive. Yeah, I know they're conversation starters. I know girls love to see what she's going to wear next. I know that the fashion was a big part of this show. I get it. But she looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, she looks ridiculous. If I had a date with her and she wore that, I would cancel the date. No. I'm not going to tell her you need to change your clothes. No, I'm going to be like, sorry, something came up. Gotta go. Bye. You know, because what the fuck? Just like a fucking clown. Like Pennywise the fucking clown. Oh my God. Like, and she's always been that way too. Just like, what the hell? But it's cute and quirky when you're young. But when you're old, it's not. It's pathetic. All right. So she goes back to, she accidentally goes back to her apartment, her Biggs apartment. You know, and of course, start playing the Todd Rundgren song, you know, Hello, It's Me in the background. You know, she looks around, you know, selling an apartment. She decides that she can't live in this apartment anymore. She's going to sell it. She tells her girlfriends that she's going to sell it. The place reminds her of Big, you know, the closet. She can still smell Big in the closet. That's a pretty realistic touch there. I'm glad they put that in there. And it just reminds her of Big. So she decides that she's going to go back to her old apartment. Okay, she's regressing. Now, a normal person would not do this. I mean, would you really want to go, if you're 45, would you really want to go back and live in the same place you lived in when you were 25? You know, if you're 55, do you want to go back and live in the same place you lived in when you were 25 and single? Probably not. You know, me personally, I like to think that I've grown since then. You know, that I'm not that person anymore. Like, I went through that phase in my life, but that phase is over now and it's time to move forward. You have to constantly keep moving forward in life. You can't stay in the same spot because the same spot's not always going to stay there. Even if you're standing still, the world will not stand still. Okay? The world's going to move whether you move with it or not. So when you hit a point in your life where you have to progress forward, when life is pushing you forward, you know, and you decide you want to go backwards, you know, that's not the place to be. That's not much of a life. Okay? That's kind of like going against reality. You know, it's like you're 55 and you want to act like you're 25. You know, it might be cute for, you know, a couple of minutes, but then it's not cute anymore. You know, it's like, dude, haven't you grown since then? Haven't you moved on since then? You're a fucking widow now. You're not some 30-something single woman out there trying to find Mr. Right. Okay, you're a widow now. A widow. Your husband died. Okay, you're that old. Why don't you start acting like it? Okay, so there's that. Like I said, she's wearing those clown outfits again. We meet the new girl, Seema, who the real estate agent who's going to sell Carrie and Big's apartment. And of course, she's got a load of personality. Once again, a person of color. I think she's Hindu or Indian or something. And you see, they're just they're just forcing this down. You notice there's no new white people on the show. All the new people on the show are people of color. You notice that? I think that's on purpose. Okay. So she's in there, and of course she's whopping her attitude, you know, and we get into the very, I want to say that the estrogen-filled portions of the show where they're just talking about purses, they're talking about wallpaper and furniture and, you know, and shoes and just like, okay, you know, yeah, there was a lot of that in the show. Okay, the estrogen level just so high, you know. And she says, Carrie says, don't touch my shoes. You know, when your movers are moving stuff, don't touch my shoes. And she's like, I totally understand. No one touches my purses. All my purses have a name. And she holds up her purse, meet Lorraine. Okay, so she named her purse. Okay, that's something a girl would do. Okay, fine. I get it. It's a girl show. I'm not the target audience. I'm just watching the show. Okay, that's cool. Fine. Whatever. You know, I like my guy stuff too. So, you know, okay, Carrie starts smoking again because Seema smokes. And Seema's trying to act like Samantha in a way, like she's all like attitude and confidence, you know. And you know what she looks like to me? She looks like a middle-aged woman who's trying to act like she's prettier than she is, you know. Carrie says something like, you know, oh, and you're like they start bonding over dating apps. You know, and she's like, "Oh, well, you're still putting yourself out there. Good for you." You know, which later on is actually a very offensive thing to say, and we find that out later. But you know, yes, she's old. She's probably in her 50s too. She looks like she's in her 50s, maybe 60s, and she's still single, no kids. and she's on her dating apps trying to find a guy. You know, it's pretty sad. It's sad. You know, I mean, meet Samantha. Uh, so she's there. She's smoking again because Seema smokes. So once again, Carrie's regressing. She's going back in time now. She's trying to be who she used to be when she was 35. But you can't go there. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I don't think the writers are smart enough to realize what they're doing. I think they're trying to recreate Sex in the City instead of showing you why you can't go back in time. Because that's a more powerful message. That's a more realistic message. The old Sex and the City show would have done that. They would have shown had a character try to go back to being young again, acting like they're young again, realize that they're not in that place anymore. Come back to reality. This show, I don't think it's doing this. I think this show is just trying to go back to Sex and the City. And you can't. I'm sorry, the ladies are too old. They were too old back then. That's why the show was such a groundbreaking show. You got these women who were in their 30s. Oh my God. Their 30s, and one of them was in their 40s. Shh. You know? And they're trying to go out there and write the cock carousel like they're 22 again. You know? That was the whole point of the show. It's okay to fuck around and sleep around at any age. You know, well, it's not true. Sorry, reality is gonna creep its way in there somehow. It's not true. You can't. Look at the people that are doing that. It's pretty sad. It really is. You know, I remember I saw a movie called The Wedding Singer once. And in that movie, you remember Adam Sandler, it takes place in the 80s, but Adam Sandler's talking to his friend. And his friend's like trying to act like Fonzie, trying to pick up girls and stuff. And then they have this bonding moment where his friend tells Adam Sandler's character, hey, listen, dude, you know, going out to bars and picking up chicks, like pretending you're Fonzie picking up chicks, it's cool when you're 25. You know, but when you're 35, it's kind of pathetic. You know? Take what you will out of that. All right, so Carrie's regressing. She's not progressing, she's regressing. Okay, so she goes back to her job at the podcast place, you know, where you got the thing there, Shay, and then the other guy's there. I guess I get the Asian guy, the Asian guy who's supposed to represent heterosexual men on that podcast. I guess his name is Jackie, and he's there, and there's a young lady in a wheelchair who's yelling at everybody because they're not posting enough on social media, you know. The podcast, I mean, when you post social media, it's a way of doing an advertisement for the podcast. So if you're not posting on social media, then you're not doing your part to advertise the show, basically. So she's berating them for it. The only one who's doing it is Shay, you know. And you need to post on social media like your job depends on it, you know. And Shay's like, yeah, well, I do it because my job does depend on it, you know. My life does depend on it, you know. And then she berates Carrie. And then one of the producers is like, hey, you want to lay off of her, okay? And she's like, oh, that's right, your husband died. I'm so sorry, but get over it. And you need to start posting again, you know? And then Jackie, the heterosexual, short Asian guy with the mullet, and, you know, he's like, hey, you know, just because you and I are fighting doesn't mean you should take it out on her. So now we know that he's dating the girl in the wheelchair. Okay, the guy that's always talking about sex all the time, about masturbating everywhere. You know, that guy. He's dating the girl in the wheelchair. I don't know her name. And then they go off and they have an argument in the hallway. And of course, Shay's there making fun of them, and Carrie's there making fun of them. And the male producer, I don't know his name. They're all making fun of Jackie and his wheelchair girlfriend. What does this say? Okay, because they treat Shay. Shay is I'm not gonna say the fucking thing, okay? But she's something, okay? She's not straight, and she's not a man. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, she's something else. But they treat her on the show like she's like Samantha. Like, oh, everyone wants to fuck with, every girl wants to fuck her, and every guy wants to fuck her. You know, that's how they treat her on the show. Okay, now Jackie, the little short Asian guy with the beer belly, he's treated like a joke. He's like, oh, this is a guy who wishes he could get laid. So what does he do is he jacks off all the time and talks about like, hey, he wants to fuck this girl, he wants to fuck that girl. Blah, blah, blah. And now we found he actually is fucking a girl in a wheelchair. You know, so I mean, it's just like, okay, this is the amount of respect that you have for this this incel, okay, is like, oh, he can't even get laid. He has to fuck girls that are handicapped, you know. But yet here you got Shay, who's some trans thing, and Miranda and everyone else wants to fuck her. Like, no, that's not realistic, okay? The truth is, yes, this guy Jackie, if I was a woman, I would not be attracted to him, okay? As a man, I would be hard for me to respect a guy like that, okay? I would have to get to know him. But just the way he presents himself, it's very difficult for me to respect someone like that. Someone who presents himself that way, you know? And Shay, I mean, well, Shay's just fucking dog ugly, okay? Like, she's just ugly, okay? There's nothing attractive about her. Sorry. I know that's not what the show wants people to think about her, but like I said, I'm a straight man, and because I am a straight man, I have absolutely no input on this show at all, okay? Nobody on the show wants to know what guys like me think about the show, okay? That's why I'm doing this YouTube channel, so that you, the viewer, can know what a straight guy, at least what one straight guy thinks of the show, okay? And yeah, Shay is fucking dog ugly, okay? She's dog ugly. She's not attractive. Some of her jokes are funny, most of them are not. There's that. Okay, Jackie, Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte's talking to her husband, Harry, and she's making the invites, the couple's invites, that she's having some dinner party, and then all of a sudden she realizes that all the couples she invited are white. Oh no! That makes it look like I'm racist. You know, so she starts going like, well, who do we know that's black? We gotta find someone who's black. But you know, like, oh my god, like it's a big deal. You know, like we gotta find someone who's black. We have to. You know, like this is what I'm talking about, about the racism. Like this is considered acceptable behavior for white people to do. Is to fucking look at black people like they're props, like they're not even human. They're just something that needs to be there so you don't look like a racist. They're not even human beings to her. They're just objects that need to be there to make herself look better. You see what I mean? Projecting. Okay, this is the message. Okay, this is the liberal message. This is the ideologue. You know, whenever you watch, you know, I'm a comic book fan, okay? So I read a lot of comic books growing up. And whenever they make a movie or a TV show out of comic books, and I look at it and I realize that they changed the race of a certain character for no reason, just to do it. They did it because, oh, you don't like it? That means you're racist. No, it means I read the fucking comic book and that character's white. They're not black. They're white. Okay? You're doing this to show that you're not racist, but you actually are racist. Because you're doing this. Because you can't create a character that's black and have that character stand on their own two legs and win the audience over themselves. No. You have to take an established white character and turn them black in order for you to look better. That's what I'm talking about. This is racism. God. And Charlotte is promoting it. They're pandering to this. Oh my God. I fucking hate Charlotte now. Like, what the fuck kind of person does this? I'll tell you who does. People that produce a show like this. That's who. So, this upsets me. So anyway, so Charlotte's she's going out of her way trying to look for people of color to invite to this party to make herself look better. Basically, to make herself not look like a racist. So her and her husband, Harry, they're going down the list. Oh, who do we know that's black? Who do we know that's, you know, and then she calls her friend Anthony. Like, who do we know that's black that I can invite? And he's like, well, I know a guy who's Colombian. He's not black, but, you know, you can never tell. He's dark enough. You know, like, this is bullshit. You don't treat people this way. Oh, God. And like, this is what they're going to do with Charlotte. This is how they're going to treat Charlotte. I mean, I already knew she was superficial. All right? I already knew she was an airhead. But now she's racist too? Like, come on. And they're trying to make it something else. Call it something else. It is what it is, okay? You don't eliminate racism by being racist. You don't do that. So there's that. And, okay, so she's trying to find a black couple. She's very condescending. She tries to talk this one black girl into into coming into a black girl that she kind of disrespected earlier in the episode. Oh, can you come over to my party, blah, blah, you know? And the girl finally agrees to go to it. But then she finds out that the black woman that was invited to her party can't make it. So now she doesn't need a black couple at her party anymore. So she just tells the black girl that said, okay, we'll go. So, oh, well, you know what? I just remembered my husband has a colonoscopy. So we have to cancel the party. Sorry. Like, dude, this is fucking... Can you believe this shit? Can you believe that they would do this? That these producers, these writers would think that this is acceptable? This is the shit that whenever you're watching a show with good guys and bad guys, this is the shit the bad guy does. Anyway, so slummy Colombian. You know, there's a point where Charlotte goes to her neighbor, a black woman, or maybe she's Indian, I don't know, and she tries to invite her to the party, and she tries to, and she's like, well, I can't. We already have another dinner engagement. She goes, oh, by the way, I love that sweater. Where did you get it? And the girl's like, J. Crew. Oh, you know, so like right there, you know, it's like, okay, so I mean, I used to shop at J. Crew, okay? So you're telling me that anyone who shops at J. Crew is a slum? That's a slum store? Like that's basically a Kmart? In Charlotte's eyes, buying your clothes at a J. Crew is basically buying your clothes at a Kmart, okay? Like buying your clothes at a Walmart. Okay, this is just like, my God, the elitism is just so in your face, man. God. You're like, that's not good enough. Buying your clothes at J. Crew is not good enough. You know, Columbia has to be black. Okay, so now we go to Nia Wallace, who is Miranda's professor, the black woman, her professor, and they're talking there, and Nia Wallace is berating the host, who's obviously a gay black man. He's the host of the restaurant. They're trying to get a restaurant. He's saying like, I don't have your reservation here. He's like, well, we've been waiting forever. Blah, blah, blah. And all these other people who are white have gotten their food and left already, and we're still waiting here. Blah, 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 you know. And I know that this is Miranda, right up Miranda's alley. Miranda would be all over this host. Like, I want to talk to the manager. You know, her Karen mode. She would all do, but she can't. She can't do that. You know why? Because the host is a black guy. Not only that, but when he starts talking, you realize he's gay. He's a gay black guy. So Miranda, being a white woman, can't go up there and chew out a gay black man. Now, if that was a straight white man, absolutely, she'd be all over that guy, trying to get him fired even. But no, this is a gay black man, so she's got to, you know, she's just got to stay in the corner and be quiet. Okay? God, getting through this episode. All right, so there's that. And now, why would a professor go out, have lunch with one of her students and have drinks with one of her students and then get all, you know, emotional? Like she starts explaining to Miranda that, you know, she's going through like fertilization. She's taking fertilization drugs. She's trying to get pregnant with her husband, you know, at her age. You know, I don't know how old she is, but she's not a young woman anymore. And she's bonding over one of her students over this stuff. And they're using like the legal jargon, like, you know, like does the defense rest, you know? You know, are you badgering the witness? You know, like they keep saying that shit to each other. Do lawyers really talk that way to each other when they're on a dinner date or a lunch date? You know, maybe when they're drinking. I don't know, but you know, I used to work at a car shop. You know, where we fix cars, and you know, when we went out to lunch together or something, we didn't like talk to each other like we were like still fixing cars. Okay, we talked to each other like normal fucking people. All right. So anyway, so that's going on here. And Nia wants to have a baby, and she's asking Miranda's advice. Well, why would you ask one of your students their advice, much less have drinks with one of your students? She even says that, you know, I have the ability to fail you in class. If you have the ability to fail her in class, then why the fuck are you fraternizing with her? Okay? You don't fraternize with your students. Okay? There's a position of power here. You have the right, you have the ability to fail her. Okay? So why would you go and have drinks with her? And then tell her your life story, tell her personal stuff, like that you're trying to have kids with your husband, and then what's motherhood like? You know, I don't know if I want to be a mom or not. You know, like I want to have kids, but I don't want to have kids. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, why would you talk to one of your students about that? Don't you have any friends or other professors that you don't have power over that you can talk to about that? Why would you talk to one of your students? It's ridiculous to me. You know. So there's going on. And of course, this is Miranda's opportunity to give you a commentary on her life right now. She hates her life. She hates being married. She hates being a parent. That's basically what it comes down to. She says, most of the time, you know, I don't like doing it. I don't like, you know, like my son called me an asshole. and no, I don't want to be a mom anymore. So she's basically frustrated with her life. She hates her fucking life, a life that she created for herself. She hates her life. She doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to have kids. She doesn't want to be a mom. And she just wants to drink. She just wants another glass of wine. All right, so there's that. Okay, so Seema and Carrie are talking about the dating apps, like I told you about. They're trying to bond over that, and they're drinking their Cosmos. The Cosmos made their comeback. They're drinking Cosmos and talking about men, of course. Like the thing, the Bethel test. Well, this would totally fail. All right, Charlotte is Charlotte's trying to go to the party with her black friend, and she's quizzing her husband Harry on black culture. Like, you need to know this, you need to know that. Who's Malcolm X? And this is stupid. And Harry's just like, okay, because Harry's a beta male. Okay, he has no fucking balls. He has no confidence. He has no balls. Okay, he's passive. He lets Charlotte run all over him, just like Steve does. Okay, this guy has absolutely no testosterone inside of him. Okay, just like all the men on the show. The only guy who had testosterone was Big. Okay, and he died in the first episode. Okay, this is what they think the straight men are on the show. All right, like Harry, just a pushover. He's the one that works. Okay, we find that Charlotte's unemployed. She's like the head of certain councils and stuff, but she doesn't actually have a job. She's the housewife. She takes care of the kids, which is the job. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying she doesn't get paid for it. Okay, he's paying the bills. Okay, and I've noticed something about Harry's. He's getting skinnier. He's slim. Charlotte's gained weight. I mean, her boobs are bigger now. Her ass is bigger. It wasn't very small to begin with, in the original show, but it got even bigger now. She's clearly gained some weight. Okay, you can see it in her arms. I know that's superficial. Oh, how dare you say that about women? Okay, well, you know what? I'm a guy. I notice these things, okay? I notice these things. I notice when girls gain weight, okay? Men look at this stuff, okay? We're not going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. This is true. We look at this stuff. I remember what Charlotte looked like in 2003, and now I'm looking at her in 2021, and she looks different, okay? Not just the Botox and the lip injections that she's had, okay? That's obvious too, okay? But her boobs got bigger, her butt got bigger, her arms got bigger. I mean, she got bigger. But Harry got skinnier. Go figure. He's still bald though. Okay. Okay. And so she goes and finds they're the only white couple in the black party. They're the only white couple there. But Charlotte wins them over because she knows all about art. She points out, well, that person did that, and that person did that, and that painting over there was painted by the same artist who ever painted a portrait of Michelle Obama. Because Michelle Obama is their patron saint, not just for the characters on the show, but for the producers, the writers, fucking Hollywood in general. Oh, Michelle Obama. Oh. Michelle Obama. Whatever. Okay, so the black people at this party are pretentious and snobby, just like Charlotte. So of course she fits right in. Okay, they all think they're better than everybody else, so of course she fits right in. What else? Okay, so we find out that Stanford left Anthony. This is how they're dealing with his death, his real life death on the show. Is he left? He went to Japan. Left Carrie a note saying he became I guess he became an agent for some TikTok girl. He went to Japan. Some 17-year-old TikTok girl went to Japan. He's divorced Anthony. Boom, that's it. He's off the show. That's how they dealt with it. Okay, I know he died in real life, but this is how they deal with it in the show. He didn't die on the show. He just abandoned everybody and left. Kind of like Samantha. All right, Carrie bitches out. Seema, they get into a fight. Karen and Seema get into an argument over a picture that she broke the frame for, which is nothing. But she starts berating. She turns into a Karen. I guess she'd be hanging out with Miranda, and she yells at Seema, like, "I dare you! You don't understand. This picture's unreplaceable. The glass is replaceable. My husband, ex-husband, he used to touch it with his own fingers, and now it's ruined forever. It's your fault." Okay, and then Seema goes right back. Oh yeah, well, I didn't like it when you told me that I should be on dating apps, and I'm still out putting myself out there on dating. You're telling me that I'm ugly, and that I'm still out there trying to find love. Well, I don't feel sorry for you because you actually had real love, and I haven't. And I'm old. I've never got a boyfriend. I got no serious relationship. God, shut up. And just like that, Stanford has been replaced. Boom. All right. Now, I know this show is trying to appeal to lesbians. That's why they're putting all this woke stuff and all this gay stuff is being put in there because they're trying to get lesbians to watch the show. What the fuck do lesbians want to watch heterosexual relationships for? Why? Why would you want to do that? Why would a lesbian want to watch, why would a gay guy want to watch Die Hard? Okay? Like why? Why? I'm not saying they don't. I'm sure there's plenty that do. But why would you, would Die Hard put gay characters in there? Would they purposely put a gay characters into Die Hard franchise to get more gay viewers? Would they do that? No, they wouldn't. You know why? Because it wouldn't fucking make sense. So why would you put all this gay stuff into a show that's about heterosexual relationships between men and women? They're trying to get lesbians to watch the show. You know, like they're trying to make it the new orange is the new black. You know, and it's not. It's not. It's always been about, you know, women fucking men and men fucking women. That's what the show's always been about. So pandering to the gay audience is not gonna increase your viewers. You know, because I'm sorry. You know, gay is gay. Yes, it is. And straight is straight. Yes, it is. But ugly is still ugly. It doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight. Ugly's still ugly. Okay? Okay? All right. All right. So, you know, it's just, okay. So they're there. Okay, the women were, okay. One of the reasons the original show was so successful, okay, the original Sex and the City was successful because you had 4 different women, okay, that were all straight, that all had different personalities. Charlotte was airhead, but she was very girly. You know, she had a lot of estrogen. She wore these outfits. She acted like a girl, like a girly girl, prima donna, debutante. That's what she acted like. You know, but she was very sweet and ditzy. Okay, Miranda was angry, feminist bitch. Okay, she was always in a bad mood. She hated men. You know, and to hide her insecurity, she just blamed men for everything. You know, she was one of those. You know, she was the Karen. Okay, that was her. All right. Samantha was the horny one, the one that was always getting turned on, the one to fuck everybody. You know, the sensual one. You know, the one that thought she was all that. You know, that was Samantha. And then Carrie was the emotional roller coaster. Super happy, super depressed, you know, always going back to neurotic, anxiety, quirky, you know. So you got these 4 different women with 4 different personalities, okay? Every woman has different degrees of each one of these women inside of them, to different degrees, okay? That's why the show was so successful. You basically had 4 women, which were 4 aspects of one woman, okay? That's why the show was so successful, because every woman has got that side to their own personality, you know? And they can indulge, by indulging in certain characters, they indulge in that side of their personality. That's why the show is so successful. It's a brilliant idea. I'm surprised more people haven't figured it out or done more with that. I'm surprised there haven't been other shows that are like Sex and the City. Because it's a very simple formula once you figure it out. It's like, oh my God, 4 different every woman has these 4 personality traits inside of them. So just make the best of it. You know, that's why the show is so successful. I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing a bunch of assholes. And I tell you what, it's going to be real hard for me to do it, but I'm going to get through the other episodes, and I will let you know how that works out. All right, so thank you for watching this review. Have a good day.